Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 173 of Trials Trebuchets. I'm your
I just want a dishwasher.
dungeon master, Luke, and joining me are my players, whose names are as follows.
Sup. My name is Ben, and I play the level 9 gnome wizard Windsor Wallaby, along with his cutty little companion, Mr. Wiggles.
Meow.
Hi everyone, it's me, Carla, and I play the level 9 Tiefling Roguelock, who is also an Ink Wrangler, Integrity Addleberry. Welcome.
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 Hi, I'm Sarah, and I play Mira Marchand, the level 9 half-elf bard. Marchand, dead Marchand, I need a little healing, 'cause doing combat is appealing. But Marchand, I gotta ask, are you in some catacombs, hearing chants and reading tomes? Are you dead, Marchand, Marchand?
I can't follow that up with anything good. Hi, I'm Sam. I play the level 9 human sorceress Sarah Cinderman, the only person to not get her by a tattoo.
Damn, untouchable. The only person not to get hurt by this tattoo. Let's specify it.
By
Any
this
tattoo.
tattoo.
And last time on Trials and Trebuchets, the students fought Mira Marchand's impersonating Tattoo Crow, saving Mr. Hannigan, and having liminal visions of giant catacombs in the process. While Serenepth and Winsler shuttled an unconscious Mira back to her room for rest, Integrity Idleberry convinced the stylish Miss Ables to leave fashion contacts and tips hidden around Troil like little collectibles, effectively buying Mr. Hannigan time to figure his act out before having to explain himself and the sabotage to the project. So we find ourselves now an hour later in your all's lodging room, the common room, your private rooms, whatever it might be. You've rested, you've recuperated, you've lied down horizontally on surfaces and regained how many hit points?
I rolled 6 of my hit dice, and I have recuperated 48 hit points.
Wow. Is that
Damn.
full for you?
No, 58 would be full,
Oh,
but I want to save my hit dice.
Okay, wonderful. And then the Winsler and Integrity. Serenepth, you took no damage, as is previously established. Winsler Integrity, are you back to full?
No. I re-rolled, or not re-rolled, I rolled 3 of my hit die and I got 25 back. I have a couple of points to reach like my max, but
Okay.
I just don't want to waste.
Yeah.
I rolled all of my hit dice, and I'm at maximum.
Congratulations!
Which is what, 12, right?
9.
Oh. No, I meant your HP.
Oh, 37.
So, it's been 1 hour. Just a couple minutes ago, Winsler Wallaby, and I guess the rest of you also got this message, received the message from Kurt saying, hey, I'm showing them my great inventions. They're loving it. They're eating it up. But I think that this won't last forever, so finish what you gotta do and then get over here. In this time, Mira, you regained consciousness. The things you would notice immediately are the tattoo on your arm, the fact that you are back in the room, and you can presumably re-enter the common area and get filled in on everything else that transpired. From here, what do we want to do? Are we going tattoo hunting and going to try to knock another one of these puppies off the list? Or are we going straight to the Golem seminar?
I have to go straight to the Golem Center.
You don't have to. You do have the flexibility if you would like. I want to be clear about that.
Yeah, but I also don't want to leave Kurt waiting, because I know that Kurt can get carried away with his inventions.
It's not normally a good idea to split the party, but maybe Winsler should
I
do
mean,
Well,
Winsler
there's
shit.
no reason why we're here.
If there's an emergency, I do have the possibility of leaving Kurt.
You do have the sending slates if there's an emergency.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can
that's
just,
true.
You can just text Winsler.
Text me.
Just let me know. Just let me know if you need us or if we need you. But I think that you should go ahead because I don't want us to get in trouble with Crow. And
I'll keep y'all updated. I mean, we've probably been looking forward to this and preparing for it for a while, so kind of want to make a good first impression. I'm a little terrified what Kurt might be able to do on his own with all of his inventions, so I kind of want to get over there as soon as I can.
Wonderful. Winsler, you exit from the room.
Exit stage
And
right.
You exit stage right and proceed to make your way off to the lecture hall, somewhere else in Troil. In the meantime, the three of you, Mira Marchand, newly regained consciousness, Integrity Idleberry, Inkslayer, and Serenep Cinderman, untouchable by tattoos, are the three of you going to talk about anything or get up to any business?
Okay, well, it looks like we've dealt with mine, but if my weird tattoo is any indicator, the others are probably causing a little bit of trouble, or if they're not, like, they're planning on it, and I think we should get out ahead of it and figure out where everybody else's are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me try if where do you think your tattoo is?
Something I noticed was that once it knocked you out, Mira,
Mm-hmm.
it started saying that it was Mira Marchand. And I'm wondering if it knows our like subconscious thought of like where we were going to go, and like that's and like it's like connected to our brains that way. Because like weren't you
Maybe.
talking about yesterday wanting to look at like the book press and everything like that?
Oh. So you think that yours would be with, like, the Grey Renders then?
That's what I think. Yeah, I think it's, but at the same time, like I haven't seen any like yours like very like clearly like made its mark on things. Have you guys have you noticed? And I look over to Integrity. Have you noticed any scrawling of like Integrity Idleberry was here on anything?
Well, no, but I'm guessing that if my tattoo was really up to any trouble, I think that it would have been the one eating all of these and pointing at the like the snack baskets.
ransacked gift
Yeah.
baskets, the snacks ripped out of them and absent.
I glance over to the broken tape to the table that was destroyed.
It
like-
it is now fixed.
Yeah,
yes,
like-
but
Yeah.
So you think it's doing what it thinks we would do? Like,
Well, I mean,
Integrity, I know you like snacks, but like...
Well, I don't know if this makes sense. I think it's a mix between ourselves and the animal that we chose. So, like,
Huh.
crows can be very vocal. And so,
and just
when-
Yeah, there you go.
and so it sort of took on that mindset of, like, making its presence known.
Okay.
I point towards the table. I think mine might be taking on the instincts of a fox, but I'm not 100% sure what my personality part it's taken on.
Well,
so
Maybe it's being like you, and it's just kind of like sitting patiently and just like trying not to cause trouble, and it's like really following the rules, and like we don't even have to worry about it.
maybe but I also feel like if it's going to where I wanted to go, it might be bothering the Greys. And in Integrity, like, snack foods and that kind of stuff, it might be in
the
the
cafeteria.
there's a big old mess hall.
it might be in the mess hall. So I think the question is which one could do the most damage right away and kind of move from there.
Well, there's more people in the mess hall, but the Greys are people's way out if they get hurt.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a toss-up, I think.
I
We could just-
personally think it would be good because also the renders, like, you guys watched it eat the horse leg, right? Like those things can like
For themselves.
like, yeah. So I feel like if anything, my tattoo might be in danger with them.
Okay.
So-
well, I mean, if it gets damaged, if your tattoo gets damaged by the Greys, I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. And then, like, we literally just killed that one, pointing at
Yeah, I
Mary's
mean, if the
arm.
Greys are going to do it for us, like, that's awesome. So you guys think mess hall then?
I would say mess hall, yeah.
Okay. If the mess hall doesn't work, I can still cast another spell to try to find our creatures, but I would rather kind of save some energy because if we have to be fighting more, I want to use that kind of mental space for fight stuff, but it is a possibility if we aren't able to run into these things.
Yeah, that's understandable. I was also wondering, we can do this while we're walking.
This is while you're walking now. You've
okay.
gotten up and are now leaving and headed towards the mess hall through walkways and passages, overseeing giants pushing things and other artificers of sorts being busybodies and rushing to and fro. You continue the conversation, Integrity.
So I was wondering, it seems like the dome that covers us right now is controlled by something. I wonder if it's possible to, like, I guess, dim it or make it not see through and
Mm.
try to prevent
Oh.
the moonlight from shining in.
Yeah, because
I don't know.
yeah, because blocking the moonlight definitely helped with that. So that might be. I would say, how about we check the mess hall first, because that like has a building top on it, and I think it would be easy just to kind of like block it off within the space, like maybe use the tables or something like that. And then after that, we'll check in with like the dome operators and see if we can.
There
Do
is
that.
the lab or the workshop that's working on the living glass, which is what is kind of indoming Troil. So going to that workshop might be fruitful if that's something you wanted to pursue. Nonetheless, the three of you make your way, chit-chatting together, towards the mess hall. Winsler Wallaby, you are walking all alone, just a precocious little gnome, off in the walkways in this unknown town. Whatever could happen to you. As you're walking, I would like you to make a perception check for me.
Okay.
And tell me, is Winsler on alert, or is he just focused on making it to the lecture hall and making a good first impression?
I think it's kind of like thinking over like, what do I have to say? Sort of looking around. It's like bouncing back and forth, but I think he's more focused on like, I gotta get there quick because Kurt is waiting for me. Let's see, perception.
Yes, please.
It's a 16.
I think a 16 is adequate. You pass through. Okay, you pass through many different halls. Let's say different hallways where these suspended walkways up out of the giant's way are positioned, and you push through doors. You follow big signage, and eventually find yourself in a small walkway or a small stairway. Above you, there are massive rafters, just as if this stairway, there's no glass ceiling here, but the darkness makes it look like it goes and is much taller than it actually is, if that makes any sense. Like the darkness is just thick, opaque. And as you're walking down this hallway with a sign next to it that says lecture hall and a big old arrow, and then above it there's some giant writing that I do not recall if you can speak. I think that was just an integrity thing.
I can't speak giant.
Okay. You walk down these large stairs towards the lecture hall, and a glint of light from above catches your eyes. And you look up and see two purple eyes looking down at you from high up in the rafters. They're small, not very large by any means. Even despite the distance, right? Like if it was large and far away, it would still look fairly small. But this looks to be a small thing that is far away, if that makes sense. You see these two little purple eyes looking down at you.
It's moments like these where I wish I had light. So I guess I'll just cast Produce Flame and sort of like use it as
Hold
like
it aloft.
see if I can see what this thing is.
You produce flame in your hand, a little burning light, the heat warm and nice against your skin. It is insulated here in Troil, but that does not mean it's always pleasant out here. But the heat warms you a bit, especially at your hand, at your fingertips. The light dances on the stones, and you see up above in the rafters just the poking little front. The front of this figure is revealed to you through the dim light, Winsler Wallaby. You see a cat standing there on the rafters. Its purple eyes gazing down at you.
Does it look inky in nature, or is it still too dark for me to tell?
The rest of this cat fades imperceptibly into the darkness as its inky figure conceals it very well here in the pitch black. Only the eyes give away the goat, as it were, and it will continue its stare down of you. It's looking at you appraisingly, as if you can tell. You could make an insight check to determine what it's thinking if you would like, or you can take actions of your own.
I'll do insight as the stare down continues.
Absolutely. Are you moving at all, or are you just stopped dead in the middle of these staircases? It's
Kinda
probably
like stopped.
okay. It's 20 feet back up the stairs and 20 feet back down the stairs to the next door. So you're dead center in the middle, just for your awareness.
I'll probably stay stopped because if I make
Okay.
any sudden movements, it might jump.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
let's see.
Make your insight
Oh,
check.
that's fucking stupid dumb. 13.
13 is looking at you appraisingly. Nothing more, nothing less. Just sizing you up.
Okay, I'm gonna pull out my little iPad very slowly.
In your hands, it's massive. It's
Yeah.
quite large. Everyone else, it's regular little piece of slate. But for you, quite large. It takes two
Yeah.
hands to hold. And so you, holding the flame aloft, can hold it in your hands. And what message do you want to send?
I'm going to send the message to everyone. I found a weird cat. Its eyes are glowing purple. It might be the one that we're looking for. I only know one cat, and that's Mr. Wiggles. Well, technically, I know two cats. There was the big Stinky, but I don't really count him. So there's just a weird cat over here on the
All
way
of
to
you.
the lecture hall.
All of you, your pockets feel a as your sending slates vibrate. You all can pull out this piece of stone and telepathically receive this communication. Would you like to respond to the group chat?
Respond to our group chat.
Where are we when we receive it? Like, have we already reached the mess hall?
You're
or-
in the you're probably near the dining hall, like out on the actual courtyard area, near-ish to that center tower, but I assume not going too near it, and making your way to the mess hall.
Can we hear any chaos happening from the mess hall from where we are?
You pucker your ears, listening, and the general commotion of lunch is occurring.
Okay.
But that seems to be all. There seems to be no riot or large inky creature killing people in there at the moment.
Okay. I'm gonna look to the other two and say, it doesn't sound like anything's happening over there, so we should probably head over and help Winsler. Yeah.
I'll like just send a little message like, okay, got it. Good luck with your presentation. We'll deal with that.
I send back an emoji of a thumbs up.
There's emojis in there.
It's like
It's
like a
a mental
sigil.
image of a thumbs up.
You think of the image of a thumbs up, and
It's
Oh my
literally
God.
it's
literally
literally
just Serenep
Serenep's hand doing a thumbs up.
Whoa, Serenep, how did you do that? There's like a little picture of a thumbs up on my sending slate.
It's when I was younger, I used to do this whole like mental practice of like mental imaging. So like I used to do this a lot and just like stare at my hand to kind of like I don't know, like it's just something to like help relax you. And so I just have a really good mental image of my hand doing a thumbs up.
Oh, cool. Let me try. I put in the group chat like music note emoji, crown emoji, thinking emoji, someone crying emoji, crown emoji, girl getting her nails done emoji.
How did you what's the
I don't know.
Like visibly
You can think of
confused,
anything.
I am also going to put OMW like on my way, and then I'm gonna put the dancing girl emoji.
of course,
but it's actually Integrity doing the dancing.
yeah.
Integrity, that one's you.
So
Oh,
cool.
I'm so good at this. I'm a natural.
That's amazing.
This is how social media gets invented.
Winsler, you receive all these messages. They're cryptic in their nature. Make an Arcana check to decipher them. No. Nonetheless, your friends are a few minutes away. The immediate predicament is, do you want to proceed to the lecture hall, or would you like to blast the cat or communicate with the cat?
Blast the cat. Well, I don't know. Could I spare a few minutes? I guess I could if I'm already sort of.
You're not late. You
Not
still have some time.
late.
There is a buffer, but you are eating into it.
Okay. Let me
Is
see.
Kurt receiving these messages too?
Yeah, Kurt sends a message that goes, "What is happening?"
Oh, he's in the group chat too.
He's in the group chat.
I send back a guacamole.
I send that picture of the cat like staring at their phone.
What phone?
The slate. Okay, it's Mr. Wiggles looking at
There's
like
a
holding the
whole
slate.
GIF library pre-installed on it. Don't worry.
Integrity types WDWAI. Don't worry about it.
Well,
Yes, Winsler.
I'm going to try communicating with this cat
Oh,
by
excellent.
using a racial feature that I have tucked away in my back pocket, which
Wow.
is speak with small beasts.
Excellent.
Aw.
Does that
So
just
through
doesn't it say
sounds and
something-
gestures, you can
Yeah.
communicate simple ideas with small or smaller beasts. So I'm gonna be like,
what the fuck you doing here?
here, kitty, kitty, kitty.
Aw.
it kills you.
It jumps and just claws.
Winsler,
Uh-huh.
the cat looks at you. His eyes squint with anger as you go pss, 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 at it from many feet below, and it says, in your head you hear a ringing voice that goes, "You think me a common house cat?" And then does a
Shit.
17 hit your AC?
Of course it does.
Oh my gosh!
You even need to ask?
Yo, I'm having a very strong sense of deja vu suddenly. What?
The cat shoots lasers from its eyes and kills
Oh my God.
Winsler.
Damn.
Winsler!
Oh, the
what?
cat actually shoots lasers.
The eyes glow a bright purple, and these lasers shoot from it. I need
What
you to
the
take
fuck?
18 points of
Oh my
force damage as it hits you square in the chest.
You know that
and knocks you
regular
to the
thing
ground.
that cats can do when they shoot lasers from their eye. Oh, is this because of laser pointers?
It's just because I thought laser cat.
I thought it was a callback to
I
laser
don't have a
pointers.
Genesis. I just thought it was good. Anyways, Winsler, you're shot in the chest with these lasers and then like fall to the ground. As you look up into the rafters, you see the tattoo cat jumping away off into the
tat
darkness.
Oh.
Do you want to stay just lying on the floor for a couple of moments until your friends arrive? Probably 60 seconds after this interaction happens.
Yeah, I think getting blasted like full force with laser eyes would probably take a lot out of a person.
Wonderful. So, in that case, the three of you still deliberating and talking about the wonderful invention of the sending slate, open the door at the top of this stairwell, and you
Winsler's
see
just sizzling.
the sizzling crumpled heap of Winsler Wallaby midway down the stairs. And there's this very, like, poignant smell in the air of, you don't know what it is, but it is lasers.
Sulfur.
Yeah, not sulfur. We've done that one too much. What's a good laser smell? What's a good laser smell?
What's your question?
It's
What's
like-
a good
what's a good-
laser?
An indescribable like metal smell.
It's like that
It's
weird metal.
What
yeah,
about
that weird-
burning?
Yeah, sure.
Iron.
It smells like
Burning
burning
metal.
metal in here. Yes.
Okay.
Done.
Done.
Burning metal?
Burning metal. You all smell this and see Winsler crumpled and singed tummy on the stairs.
Are you dead?
That's what you ask me first, is if I'm dead?
Well, I
don't
mean,
think
you
I
answered
could
our
respond
question.
if
That
I'm
kind of takes
dead.
priority, doesn't it? If you didn't respond, we would know you're dead. What happened?
The cat blasted me with lasers from its eyes.
I'm
What?
sorry, what?
That was after I.
Where
that
is
was
it?
like after I sort of tried to call to it by going, pss, 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 you know, the thing you do when you try and get a cat to come over to you, and so you can pet it and stuff. And then it sort of like got mad at me and was like, "You think I'm such a common house cat, nah?" And then it just shot lasers at me, and it hurt a lot. And then it ran away.
It talked to you?
Yeah, in
I
my
guess,
head.
can they all do that?
I mean, yours talked,
Yeah.
but this
Okay,
was
good to
more
know.
in like my head.
Oh, weird.
Well, where did it go?
It went down the hallway, and I don't know where it went after that.
Into the darkness of the rafters.
Into the darkness.
Okay. How big was the cat? Because when we found the crow before the shade of the leather, it was a pretty big bird. How big was the cat?
It wasn't that big. It looked like a regular cat, but take Mr. Wiggles for example, but if he put on more weight.
Okay.
Not like big stinky levels of weight, but you know.
God.
Okay.
So rude. Big Sticky's not even here.
I know, but there's a cat, so I have to bring up every cat that we've met.
Besides getting insulted and attacking you, was it attacking anything else when you
No,
first
when
saw
I-
it?
When I first saw it, we were just kind of staring at each other. Wasn't really doing
Okay.
anything other than that.
Okay.
Do you all want to investigate the room or perhaps move on to that lecture hall where it is a bit more crowded and potentially less dangerous than a not abandoned, but solo hallway? Or if there was any more questions you were going to ask Winsler here before there's people around.
I think I want to check out, like, at least like look up at the rafters where like Winsler's kind of pointing out where the cat was to just kind of see if there's
Absolutely.
anything, like any like signs of what exactly
Sure.
was happening.
You can make an investigation check in that case.
Okay.
If you would like to.
I would love to.
Yeah.
Oh shit! That's a 21. 19 plus 2.
Yo.
Oh, a 21. looking up into those rafters, Winsler, you still have your little conjured flame. You can raise that a bit high, as high as you can, which is not much. And it sheds a slight illumination on the high rafters. Serenepth, at the very tippy top, you see what almost looks like a crawl space isn't quite the right word, since that would be underneath, but almost
A vent.
maybe a vent. But again, vent isn't the right word either. Maybe a vent for some sort of incinerator that warms the buildings, something of that sort. And that seems to be broken open, and there is just a duct there
Okay.
where it seems the cat went.
Okay. So, while you were heading over here, Winsler, we had a quick discussion before the slate came to life.
Situation.
Yeah. I think an idea might be that these tattoos are kind of like a mix of animal traits and our own traits.
I don't know
So-
about this thing having any of my traits. I mean, it's got more wiggles in it than it does me. Maybe if it talked in a southern accent, I might believe it.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So you're saying that if you had heard it go, you dare call me, you dare call me like a common house cat, and then shot you with lasers, that would have been a dead giveaway that it was part your personality?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, true.
The accent's 90% of the personality.
It's true, random voice in the sky.
It's actually the cat watching.
So, what do we do? Are the three of you going to carry on an independent investigation and leave Winsler, or are you going to escort this man?
Winsler has angered the cat, so I think it would be best to keep with him and protect Winsler.
The cat wants to kill me.
The cat wants to kill you now.
Is that good with everyone else?
Sure.
It works for me.
Yeah. I'm afraid that it might
Okay.
attack like the room because
The lecture hall.
yeah.
Wonderful. Integrity, you can voice such a worry to your friends, at least, as you all walk down the stairs and open this door, this quite large door, into a lecture hall. You walk in and feel quite small initially. It is, as you would envision a lecture hall to be, like one of the nicer lecture halls in Wildcliff. There's large rows of seating with tables built in for you to write upon. This just almost stadium style lecturing hall. There's a huge chalkboard up at the front, as well as a stage where you can see Winsler. You see Kurt Orlane. He has a big bag of things, and he is speaking with that other gnome who would come to your door, Osgoul Parm, the one with the hat that has the big flag on it, so that he's visible. Sitting in these absolutely massive lecture hall seats, there are an assortment of giants, probably 6 or 7 of them, all very prepared to listen to what is going to be presented upon here, as well as at the very front of the room, on like the bare stone floor in front of the stage, there are some more scale-appropriate seats for those who are not so gigantic. There's a whole hodgepodge of artificers and researchers standing here. Winsler, they seem to be chatting and being in good company, in good spirits, having some cups of coffee and hot chocolate to warm themselves up. They seem to be enjoying the slight break before the work continues. Additionally, you see sitting here, very calm and not speaking with anyone else in one of these chairs, Winsler, Crow. And he seems to immediately take notice of your entry and meet your eyes and will nod to you very slowly.
Sort of give like a weak smile and like wave. Still somewhat singed a little bit.
Absolutely. Mira Marchand, Integrity Idleberry, and Serenepth Cinderman. Where in this room do you want to be? It's quite large. There is a great acoustics. You can hear from all the way back at the back of the building or back of the room. You could, if you so desired, sit in some of these giant seats if you would like to, or you could just go and loiter around the other smaller folks in the front of the room that are here to actually take part in the seminar today.
I feel like we should be near Winsler just in case of emergency.
Interesting.
I think also, I'm kind of like looking up to like the ceiling of the room just to like see if I can see any other of those any more of the like ducks, and like kind of just like listening with the acoustics and everything, like listening for like any scampering.
There absolutely is there's many of those kind of heating ducts up in the rafters. There's always rafters in these buildings. It's the giant way. There is many heating ducts up there, probably 12 or more. Not all of them have covers, but most of them do. You do not hear anything other than the chatter of academics, or rather, not academics, but of these artificers gathered here to have a golem seminar, and kind of like the deeper voices of the giants in their seats speaking with one another in a similar vein, interested and chatting about the day, chatting about the weather, these kind of things that you might do before a presentation such as this begins. But the three of you can accompany Winsler Wallaby. Oh, was there something you would like to do?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna stand by the doors just in case we need a quick exit. I am going to
like
be
a security guard.
Yes, like leading any potential evacuation if
Wonderful.
necessary.
Okay, so in that case, Mira and Serenap, the two of you approach this stage with Winsler. You don't walk onto the stage, merely stand next to it. Again, like security guards. Winsler, you can walk up the small stairs onto this assembled stone stage and walk over to Kurt or Lane, who seems to be busily putting his things back in his bag, his fun, nifty inventions, as well as this other gnome wearing thick woolen garments, or fur garments, and that hat. And Osgood, the gnome, will turn to you and will say, "I'm so glad that you've joined us again, Mr. Wallaby. Your friend, co-conspirator, was just showing us his wonderful ideas."
I'm sorry. Thank you for your patience. I kind of got a little bit sidetracked on the way here, but thank you for humoring Kurt a little bit. He was kind of looking for an opportunity to show off the things that he brought, and
there was no humor needed. Some of them were very inventive. And Kurt looks at you and grins.
Well, they definitely are inventions, as one would call them. But
are the two of you prepared for your seminar now, though?
I think so, yes.
Or do you need any other materials brought?
Is there perhaps remind me, what are those things that you pull down?
Like a
presentation screen or anything like that?
We can prepare one.
I also suppose that the chalkboard will also do.
There's a chalkboard there, and he points. There's also those the stairs in the library that you slide around to get to the book you want. There's one of those, except for the chalkboard. Just as a note for you,
okay,
Winsler, who is not
I'll probably get
giant.
that prepared too.
Absolutely, and he will hand you a piece of chalk, and he will say, "Good fortunes," and will walk off and stand next to you, Serenap and Mira, by the stage. And he'll just kind of look at the two of you and go, "So what were you all up to? Did you explore the town? How was it?"
Oh, really great. We had a really fruitful meeting where we helped out a visiting publisher, Miss Abels.
Was that the only workshop you visited? Or is there anywhere else you went?
We were pulled into some conversation once we reached the workshop, so we ended up staying there for a little bit, just to, see how everything worked.
Okay.
Why do you
and that's all
ask in such a suspicious
I'm just asking.
tone?
I was just curious. There's a lot of interesting things to see here in town, so I was wondering what you had seen and what you hadn't. When this is done, we can go and see some of the other things that you hadn't yet seen. That's just purely inquisitive.
Okay, it was like you kind of were implying that we had been somewhere else, so I was just curious, because there was no reason to think that we were in other places of the town,
while Mira
right?
tries to explain the situation, I'm gonna do insight check him.
Yeah, both of you can make insight checks if you'd like. Yes.
Ooh, that is a 19.
Oh shit.
Fuck. That's like my third 8 today. Plus 4 is 12.
Oh no, Mira.
Uh-oh.
You're fooled by this man's ice cold exterior.
Oh damn.
For some reason. But Serenap, this is the thing. Mira is concentrating on navigating the social situation. You can take a step back and watch and look for any hints that what he is saying might have an ulterior motive. He seems to, Mira, when you press back, he has this very annoyed expression for a few seconds. That just, as soon as he like shakes it off almost, and will go, no, I just wanted to know if there were places that you wanted to go and visit that you had not yet seen. I'm so sorry that it came across as anything other than that, though.
I'm gonna cast message to Mira.
Of course. You could just pull out your phone, though.
But
But I don't want to
chat.
message the group chat. Actually, no,
I gotta turn
that'd
off
probably be a
vibrate.
good idea.
You do, yes. What do you send?
I'm going to send the image of the expression that he had on his face, and then underneath it say something's up.
We don't send. No. No. Stop. Okay. You can send emojis and screenshots in the sending slates. We cannot send them via the spell message. I'm sorry.
No. Because you said, oh, actually, why don't we use the slate? And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. Let's do that.
Okay.
Sorry.
I thought
So-
with the message, it's like when you want to send like a mental image, you have to just say what it is. It's like thumbs up.
So, Serenep, you pull out your sending slate, send this to the group chat. Mira, Integrity, and Winsler and Kurt can all look at it.
And underneath it, I'm gonna say something's up. Keep an eye on this dude.
I will watch him as he kind of turns away from the conversation. And
Who's
I'll also
this
like just
dude?
give Serenep a little subtle nod. Like, I hear you, I got you. This is a fucking weird guy.
Yeah. Perfect, Mira. So the two of you cross your arms. Mira, you look down and watch Osgoul Parm with inquisitive eyes. Meanwhile, Sereneth and Integrity, you keep your eyes on the venue at large, looking for any signs of cats. Winsler Wallaby, you are on a stage. There is a small table in front of you. Kurt has his papers splayed out. You have yours assembled and collected, however you would like to arrange them. And he'll turn to you and gulp pretty mightily, and he'll say, "Are you ready?"
As ready as I'll ever be.
All
Thumbs
right,
up.
perfect. Thumbs up, and he will turn to the crowd along with you and say, if we could have your attention, everyone, we're going to be starting the seminar now." And a silence drops over the room, Winsler
This
Wallaby,
is stressing me
as
out.
all eyes turn to look at you and your roommates. Kurt will look over at you.
I will clear my throat as I have just done. Howdy, everybody. Welcome to our lecture here. My name is Winsor Wallaby. I'm a student from Wildcliff, and here is my partner. His name is Kurt Orlane.
Hello.
We're gonna be basically describing what is a golem and how to essentially make one. There are many different.
Woo!
Mira next to the stage goes, "Woo!"
Sereneth
Cuts
is
everything off.
I'm hoping to incite claps from the audience.
Mira, make a persuasion
Oh,
check.
dear.
With the
Ooh.
woo. See if you can stir up some sort of
Yeah, 16 plus
sensationalism.
9 is 25.
oh damn.
Okay. A couple of these front kind of artificers go like, "Oh, this is exciting. This is pretty nice." And then the other one goes, "When he opened with the howdy, I thought this is a personable kind of presentation. This is going to be a nice one. It's a lot less corporate." And so, Winsler, I won't sit here and make you, Ben, tell me how to make a golem, which you don't
Oh,
know.
damn. I had like a whole thing in my head.
Well, here is the situation.
Mhm.
You have all your notes in front of you.
Yes.
You have Kurt next to you. There's no reason for you to be getting these things wrong, save for the pressure of presentation.
Yes.
And so, we will do a little bit of a skill challenge, perhaps. You walk through and show and sketch diagrams of the golem and its assembled frame. You talk about the materials it uses. You might even mention the tear of an angel used for its head. How in depth do you get about explaining the process with the tear? I guess is my first question.
So I was really thinking about this because I knew this was going to be a problem that was going to come up. As far as we know, Tear of an Angel is pretty much like a requirement to make a golem of like
Yes.
the stature of Yogg, Toll,
Yes.
Ari, and Stowe.
Yes.
However,
what they would like to say.
the alternative that I thought up in my head was that in substitute for a Tear of an Angel, you're going to need something to power the golem. However, the issue with giving it another power source is that the Tear of an Angel gives the golem its personality. So if you were not to use the tier of a golem and you were to use something else, say like an electric source of energy, like a generator or something like that, the golem won't have the kind of personality that the other golems have. It'll just be a regular clockwork golem that you basically have to give commands and such. So if you really want like a true authentic golem, like Yogg, for example, a tier of an angel or some other item of magical significance would have to be used. But
Interesting.
if that's not available or something, you can use another power source. You just won't get that uniqueness that a tier of an angel will give to a golem.
Give an Arcana check to determine, as Winsler just spurts on
Nonsense.
these things, nonsense to these people. Make an Arcana check to see if this is the truth, or if it's just silly speculation.
Well, it was a 21. Woo!
It is the truth.
It is true.
Winsler, you explain this and kind of belabor the point of it's very important that if you want this kind of golem with a personality and such things, you use the tier of an angel. One of the artificers in the front row, one of these, let's say he's like a young 28-year-old human, for example. He's wearing a woolen kind of fleecy sweater and has like big thick glasses and some facial hair. And he'll raise his hand gently and say, I hate to interrupt, but what is the importance of the golems having the personality? For example, just for educational purposes, is that necessary for them to function?
Well, it's not necessary for them to function per se, but let me use our own creation, Yogg, for example. I wanted to make a golem, to basically be a friend to everybody. And by using the tier of an angel, basically it gave Yogg their personality, and it not only helps them sort of give that sort of cognitive addition to themselves, but they can also use that to learn and grow as they learn. So basically what the benefit is not only do you have basically another individual that you can speak to and, communicate with, but they can also learn and grow to be their own kind of person.
Oh, fascinating. Well, thank you very much. Another artificer will put forward and say, so if they can learn, is there a limit to what they are able to learn? So many pages of a book to be filled, as it were? Or is it like an actual person who can just learn for the entire duration of their life?
Based on my experiences, what I've done with Yogg is that we've played chess together. He's developed a lot of knowledge about chess. Basically, I also wanted to help teach him how to do magic at some point. And I feel like Yogg is able to develop some sort of magical capability if we work on it a little bit more. So I think the amount of stuff they're able to learn and do might be limitless from my experience.
Winsler, when you mention magic, you mention infinite learning, limitlessness. The crowd is enthused. They are interested. They are hearing what you're saying, and they are liking it quite a bit, Winsler. A giant artificer will clap his hand down on one of these tables, these stone tables. It makes quite the racket. And he will say, these tiers of angels, though, where do they come from?
Oh, God.
It's not a material I've heard of.
Well, the tier of an angel was given to me by a very dear friend. I'm not sure how one is able to get their hands on multiple of them, but that's why I said the alternative to a tier of an angel could be another item of magical significance, and may also have different influence on the golems themselves during the creation process. So, say if you were to take like a staff of fire, for example. A staff of fire has a lot of magic imbued in it. If you were to condense that down into an object of power that would be able to generate or help the golem maneuver, while the limits of the learning for that golem might be a little bit limited compared to a tier of an angel, their personality might also develop differently, and you could have basically the same result, just with a little bit less capability than you would for something that has a stronger magical power to it.
Fascinating. Thank you so much. The giant rescinds and sinks back into their chair,
Scary.
taking heavy notes. Headmaster, or rather, Mr. Crow, will lean forwards for a moment, Winsler, as you carry on and explain a bit more of the intricacies and move on from like kind of this subject. But his face is kind of like caught in thought over all of this talk of Tears of Angels and development of personalities. And when you arrive near the end of your talk, he will kind of lean forwards, raise a hand, and we will say, Mr. Wallaby, I apologize that my mind has strayed back to this, but if it were possible to, since you don't know the origins of these Tears of Angels, if it were possible to replicate it in some manner, precisely, just a complete copy, do you believe with your expertise that this could function as a viable source of fuel for the golems?
If it's a total copy of the item of the angel tier, I can't vouch for the power that a copy might have of it because, a tier of an angel is pretty authentic in what it can do. But I feel like if there was enough experimentation and research into how to properly replicate something like that, I feel like it would be able to give you the exact same results as one that's authentic. But I would probably have to do a little bit more research into that part of things.
Would you be willing to do such research while you're here?
I could possibly devote some time to see if I could do some research into that.
Wonderful. We can speak about that later in that case. Carry on with your presentation. You fielded their questions, Winsler. You feel confident. You feel good in what you're doing here. Is there any very fine details that you think are important to communicate about the golems to these people who seems very keyed in on the process of creating them and like the things that you said about like I wanted to make a friend and stuff like that? They do not seem to be taking heed of those things. Is there any final words or warnings or advice you give these people before the seminar concludes?
Yeah, I would probably give them some advice. So in the end of it all, if you happen to use a power source that's not magical in nature, clearly you're going to have a golem that's, they're just a regular golem. They're going to take commands from you. That's basically what you're going to get. But if you use a magical item in the construction of a golem to give it a personality, you got to be careful with them because while they do have the power to, learn endlessly, you gotta help guide them in the right direction or things could get a little bit unpredictable. Yogg at first needed a little guidance to help figure some of the more nuanced stuff about things out, such as not just opening random people's doors and, not taking things to heart and such in a sense. So it's basically like you're raising a child.
A lot of the faces in this room turn sour when you say such a thing, Winsler, as if that is not what they have signed up for here.
But it's a unique experience because Yogg is basically not a child anymore, but that's how it's going to be for the first initial steps of completion is you got to help step them in the right direction or things could get messy.
And Kurt looks over at you. His chalk in his hands as he's been scrawling things upon the board for you. And then he kind of looks back out and he goes, and that's it. That's it, right, Winsler?
Yeah, that does it for our presentation.
That concludes our presentation. We'll be around for 2 weeks if you have questions about it. And I'm sure that we can work things out, right?
I don't have office hours, so
the small crowd gathered here does applaud for you. The guards, I'll speak to the three of you for a moment.
The guards.
Integrity and Serenep, there was no cats present at all during this seminar. Such a thankful thing.
Okay.
Mira, you were watching Osgoul Parm for the entirety or most of this talk.
I was keeping an eye on him, yeah.
Okay, perfect. In that case, I will give these notes to you. When Crow had been asking about replicating the tier of the angel perfectly, he seemed to annoyed, anger, the general air of displeasure of having a grievance to air, but biting your tongue about it, and kind of like, I don't know if this is a thing that you've ever done or seen people do, but like when someone says something that's like stepping on your toes a little bit, and that kind of expression, and air and energy coming from this man
Oh, cry about
in
it,
front
Crow.
of you. That is what you can take away from this seminar, Mira. And on top of that, if you paid attention at all, you now know how to make a golem. The rest of
Yo.
you. But the general gathered crowd does applaud for you lightly, following in the footsteps set by Mira at the start with the woo. There is an actual applause and a thanking period where they all thank you for your stuff. A lot of people come up and shake your hand, Winsler, and will just kind of like introduce themselves. The names are a blur and are not anything useful to you. Many people do ask for just a copy of the notes which you have, if that is something that you are capable of providing.
I could probably make some.
Excellent. So you can spend this evening recreating your notes and distributing them. In that case, though,
Oh, I know. I could put them. We could put them in little like little notebooks with our initials on them, like the KW manual to golems or something. I don't know.
that's very cute. And there's a book making workshop, so it could be pretty easy if that got sorted out. Nonetheless, many of these people leave. There are two stragglers. One of them is Crow, who has not yet come to speak to you. He seems to be waiting.
I'm scared.
And the other is a large giant.
Oh yeah, he was the one
just
who asked the
bald-
question, wasn't he?
Yes. He's bald, very wide jaw, these sunken, deep, dark, brownish eyes, and this quite dark skin. He's wearing not quite as warm a clothes as what Great the Kennel Keeper wears, and they look to be quite a bit nicer of make, as if he did not just sew them together himself. And he approaches you. He is the one who was asking you, and he'll say, "A very pleasant presentation. I thank you so much for it.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you for coming.
A question.
Yes,
You speak of angels.
I did mention that. Yeah.
Are these beings divine by any means? It would complicate matters.
Me speaking, I would assume that angels may be of divine origin. However,
Angels absolutely divine origin. But Yogg? The rest of the golems? This is a Winsler's discretion kind of question.
Oh, very interesting question. I'm worried about saying the wrong thing here because I'm worried of getting crushed. It is very easy to squash me.
A valuable fear to have at this moment.
However, I do think honesty is the best policy. As far as I know about the origins of angels, based on what I've read in books and doing some research here and there, they are divine in origin.
The golems.
That would, since the golems were made with the tier of an angel, that would technically also imbue them with divine energy as well. So I guess you could technically group them together, maybe? I'm not exactly certain.
I thank you for your expertise.
Oh,
This
by the way, sorry, hi.
Hello.
Are there catacombs in Trial?
He shakes his head a slight amount and will look down at you. Almost not quite offended, but very prepared to be offended, Mira. An expression. And he'll look down at you and go, "Did you venture into places you ought not have gone?"
No. But I hit my head in the library, and I had a weird vision of a catacomb for a second, and it sounded like there were people chanting in Giant, and I guess I was just kind of wondering what that's about.
Old catacombs run beneath this town. Bones of our dead lie buried there. I do not know what chanting you know or are hearing, or why you heard it when you hit your head. But yes, the catacombs are beneath us even now.
Okay, sorry for...
I've not gone. You are not to go.
Of course, totally.
They extend
I
miles
was-
beneath us
yeah.
into the ice.
Cool. Good to know. Was just wondering what that was about. Thank you for explaining. Sorry for your time.
Do you know what the voices were chanting?
So obviously, Luke, I wouldn't have understood the words, but would I have sort of remembered the general sounds and would be able to sort of vaguely repeat them?
Goo, goo, ga, ga.
Ooga
What
chaka,
the
ooga,
fuck?
ooga, ooga chaka, ooga.
That's a fascinating
ma,
proposition,
yeah.
Mira. What skill would you like to
It
roll
could be
for
like
this?
music,
That's a good
like
question.
something music adjacent.
That's what I was thinking. I feel like you might have an ear for it just for that sake.
Or
here's the thing. You have taken musical or magical language classes.
Yeah, I know. I
which
am in the
you
language club.
Do giant, but it sets the precedent for stuff like this, understanding different languages, and you are adept at music. So I feel like Mira, you could realistically pull this off. What skill?
Would it be a performance to like communicate it, or would it be a mental skill to like
that's-
remember it? Like history?
That's what I'm torn between. I think history fits the most, conveying ancient languages
Okay.
or languages that you overheard.
Okay.
History makes sense to me.
That's +2. That is a 12 plus 2 for a 14.
You recite some very guttural sounding sets of sounds. You know that the kind of chanting, the melodic nature of the chanting, that Mira you can convey accurately. However, the actual pronunciation of what words were there or how they are said or what sounds together are actual words, that is the difficult component of this and that you do not succeed in.
Okay.
However, this giant does look down at you and will scratch his wide, shaven jaw and will think for a few moments and will say, "If it is okay, I will consult with others who may know more about this. And if we find some information, I can reconvey it to you."
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. How do you say thank you in giant? Oh,
This is close, but yeah, sure.
okay. Sorry. Well, thank you.
I don't think your vocal cords are large enough.
Yeah,
but
I did my best.
My name is Cade if you need to find me.
Cade, nice to meet you, Cade.
Yeah, nice to meet you, and thank you again for coming.
Of course. Thank you for telling us about the divine origins of these golems. It is another conversation I must have with people who know more than me. As you were. Thank you. And he'll look over at Crow as he walks away and just the slightest of shakes of the head.
Ooh.
The slightest of shakes of the head. As he walks towards the large exit door.
Seems that the
Crow?
Giants and Crow have an uneasy alliance that may be rocked at this point.
Winsler sits in his chair and does a little analysis of the situation.
He brought a chair on stage for this.
No, he's actually just drawing a cat.
Crow. Crow will walk over to you, following in Cade's footsteps, and he will say, "I apologize for him. A bit restless they've been recently." Mr.
yeah.
Wallaby, that was an excellent presentation. I thank you so much for conveying so much information in such a short period of time. As I mentioned about the replication of this tier, I won't go into much detail here, but Workshop E, room 101, first floor, immediately when you walk in. No one should give you a hard time. You alone, I should say. Or Mr. Orlane if you'd like to join him. But no one should give the two of you a hard time if later today or tomorrow you were to stop in there and poke about.
All right, I guess we could do that. What do you say, Kurt?
Kurt will say, I'm just here to work, so I can just go. We can do it now.
We could probably do it tomorrow because I gotta go help my friends with some stuff first. All right.
Crow looks at you, Winsler, when you say that, and will go, "What do you need to help your friends with? Is something gone awry already?"
Integrity's shoes were stolen.
He looks. Winsler, make a deception check.
Integrity visibly wearing shoes.
No, but people have more than one pair of shoes.
Other
That's
shoes.
true.
I was about to say, cast message on Integrity, throw your shoes away now.
Integrity wearing shoes and like have the door open.
That was a natural 20 plus 1.
Oh,
So
damn.
21.
Oh!
Because Integrity's practically Canadian and opens doors for everyone.
In Winsler, he looks at you and goes, "Again? There's thieves going around again."
Yeah,
I'll-
I don't know what happened. Like, I guess, thank
Okay.
goodness she had another pair of shoes, but
Osgood will say, "Yes, and their door was vandalized this morning when I went to check on them as well." And Crow will look at him, his
Shit.
face dropping a bit more after that, and say, "You all just have such a aura around
I
you."
don't mean to.
Okay. I will get to the bottom of this for you all. Mr. Wallaby, Mr. Orlane, the replicants in the workshop await you. I'm sure the artificers wouldn't mind your supervision. I assume they should have a mostly functional version of a golem ready for the morning. I'm sure they won't sleep on this one. And we can assess what to do regarding a power source at that point. Again, thank you so much for this presentation. He'll put a hand out for you, Winsler, to shake your hand.
I'll shake his hand.
He grips your hand very firmly and will say, "This was a very productive time. I can't offer my thanks to you enough. And I hope that you have so much more wisdom in that brain of yours to offer us while you're here." And he'll shake your hand.
All right.
He'll say the exact same thing to Kurt as he shakes his hand too. Eerily the exact same thing, Winsler. And he will depart the room.
Almost robotic.
Almost.
Not quite. No. Not robotic. Just like a script.
So he's an
nonetheless.
actor.
This is all a conspiracy through me by the government.
The 5 of you are here in this room. Winsler Wallaby, Mira Marchand, Sarah Cinderman, Integrity Idleberry, and Kurt Orlane, as well as the gnome Osgoul Parm, who is standing here, kind of leaning on the table, watching you all.
Windsor
What?
kind of like gives out a deep sigh and sort of like slumps as if all the stress just like leaves his body like a fucking balloon.
What do you all want to do right now?
Oh, Winsler, that was amazing.
Thank you. I think we did a good job. I hope.
It was awesome. I think it went perfect. I think it went as well as it could have possibly gone. I think that this is a really good break for us. I think this is a great break for us, Winsler.
Well, and now that big thing is done, you can probably go and bother anyone else you want to with your inventions, I guess.
I wasn't bothering anyone. They're
don't
good
know.
ideas.
I
Osgood
mean-
goes, no, they're pretty good ideas.
I mean, there are good ideas, but I don't. People are busy here, I don't.
Speaking of busy, should we look for Integrity's shoes?
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta go do that.
Hopefully we find them quick.
How
Did you all want help trying to find them? I know my way around Troil like it's the back of my hand.
No, I think we're good. I feel like maybe getting lost is the best way to get familiar with your surroundings.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like part of the appeal of it is we sort of just get to wander and just discover things on our own. That seems kind of like what Crow was saying, wander, look around, do whatever magical stuff you stumble upon.
It's almost like an adventure.
Yeah.
It's almost like an adventure.
And we were already given the information of places where we aren't allowed to go, so there's no worry about us walking into any
Perfect.
untreasured territory.
Wonderful.
Yeah, if we see any big red signs that say
Yeah.
no, we'll avoid them.
They're not marked with a no sign.
Okay.
but
Back home they were.
The intention is there. Thank you. Well, if you don't need me, then I will leave you all alone.
All right.
Oh, well, thank you again for offering
Thank
to
you.
help.
Always.
Thanks.
Be careful.
Bye. And I open up the door for them.
He does not walk towards the
Bye.
door, and he's just kind of looking at you all very empty-eyed, and he'll say, "Good luck finding the shoes." And
Cool.
do be careful.
Thank you. And
Have a
then
good
I
evening.
pointedly turn and pretend to start just a regular conversation with them. Like, okay, so when's the last time you saw your shoes,
I'm gonna,
Integrity?
like,
Okay.
type or send in our little iPads. Don't like that guy.
So this is what happens. Osgoul says this menacingly and will walk out slowly. The hat he's wearing, the flag bouncing gingerly to and fro as he exits. Integrity, you can close the door quickly or slowly, your choice on that matter. Serenap, you pretend to start this conversation about lost shoes, and Mira, you pull out your slate and immediately send a message that I don't like that guy in the group chat. Kurt will look down at his slate and say, what is all of this?
He
It's so confusing.
He-
I don't know what's happening.
he was questioning Mira and I when we got here. And he
About what?
of like just okay, so like
Where you
okay.
were? I don't know where you were, and I have all the information.
So OMW
Well, look
means on my way.
Here. Okay, what's with
Yeah.
what's with the painting the nails one? What does that mean?
I don't get that one
It's
either.
just like, if you don't get it, you don't get it, okay?
I don't. Okay.
I
Alright.
guess.
Then you don't get it.
You guys get it. Right, Integrity? Right, Serenap? You guys get it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't you see that
Yeah,
thing?
right?
It's just me dancing. Like, what's wrong? Like, it doesn't have to have a meaning. It's just me dancing. What's wrong with me dancing, Kurt?
Nothing. What were you all doing though? Why did I have to?
Okay.
So I got blasted by a cat.
And a crow attacked us earlier.
Yeah, our tattoos have come to life because of the full moon, and they're causing problems and attacking people, so we need to kill them.
Guys. Angelica's tattoo.
Yup.
Did we check? Did we check on Angelica and like?
Mira did check her.
Well-
yes.
Okay.
Well, we were in the same room. She was still, well, I can't say okay, but she's still in the same state. But if our tattoos are really doing what we would do, I don't know what Angelica would do aside from just, like, lie there.
Fail her classes.
I mean,
You were talking about like she was hiding, so maybe
Maybe it's
the
hiding.
tattoo's just hiding.
hiding and getting gossip.
What about this?
Hiding,
point.
getting gossip.
Integrity, you howl. It echoes in this empty lecture hall. The acoustics are phenomenal.
Because it's a hound, right?
yeah,
and
you
hounds-
find a hound.
They're so good.
Kurt looks defeated. He looks disinterested in this, and he'll say, "You all really do have like an aura, like what Miss.
not like we
what
mean
the
to.
Headmaster Crow said.
It just kind of follows us where we go.
That's what an aura is. That's what it means.
I don't. Why don't you go back to our lodge and
what
know,
if something?
prepare some stuff
what
for
if
tomorrow?
a tattoo goes in there and eats me or something?
So do you want to come with us and
I
help
mean, the
us?
place, it was already vandalized before. I don't think they would come back to the same place twice.
Do you have any
Is that the
mechs
expression?
that you can like?
I have
or-
my armor like in a bag.
Well, no, but what about like? Do you have
Just-
anything that can help us fight something?
The armor in my bag that helps me fight. That you didn't see it during the duels because Winsler just won in a single chess move and pulled our flag away. The stuff I was wearing then, like the power armor that I spent most of the year building with scrap metal, that can help.
I still
Yeah,
kinda
you can
feel bad
show
about
that
them.
off,
Sorry.
and then we can tell everyone
show it
how
off.
great your armor is.
Oh, so we're showing everyone. This is like a public thing. It's not like a private
No,
secret.
no. The tattoos are a secret. The tattoos are definitely a secret.
Alright.
We can't tell anybody because we want to secure our
Okay.
internship and make sure everything's
So
perfect.
where are the other tattoos then that we can find?
We don't know.
Okay, great.
Well, one was in like the other hallway in the rafters,
Yeah.
but it never came out during the presentation.
So you don't have any way of finding them at all?
Well, I do have a spell, but we figured we'd go to the mess hall first because I only can do it so many times.
I'm also kind of hungry.
Yeah, I gotta get food.
Yeah.
We can go to the mess hall.
Let's go get food.
I'll help. I can help. He shakes
Thank
his
you,
Thank
head.
you,
Kurt.
He shakes
Kurt.
his head apprehensively while he says this. And
Everyone's like, "Thank you, Kurt."
Thank you,
Thank you,
Kurt.
Kurt.
And I'm just like
a
going
lot
to
of
like
you.
pat like his back and like shoulders, like you got
What
this.
we see is Integrity patting his back and everyone saying thank you, Kurt, as the group of 5 of you wander off back towards the mess hall where you had been pulled away on a noble quest to save Winsler from a cat. And we can pick up with that next time on Trials and Trebuchets. You guys get some chow, and that'll be the whole episode. Ben,
Yay.
can
We
you
get to describe the food for an hour.
Can you give us an outro, Ben?
Sure. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of Trials and Trebuchets. We hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot because I got to speak a lot. If you enjoyed it, please leave a review and rating on our Apple Podcast
Yes.
page. It really helps us out a lot, and it helps spread the word to a bunch of people. And they're like, wow, look, that's a cool review. I should listen to this
it's true.
podcast. It's great. We have social media pages for Twitter and Instagram at Trials and Trebs. You can check out those pages and see some fan art, upcoming teasers for episodes, a lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool little mini updates there. We also have a link to our Discord server down in the description, which you can join and chat with a bunch of other fans of the show. It's really
Yeah.
nice and quaint. We also have a Patreon page for those who are feeling a little bit more generous. We have multiple tiers that you can become a patron to, and you can get a bunch of cool benefits such as bloopers, DM maps, and notes. And you might even be able to get a student NPC
It's
show up on the show.
true.
Who knows?
Probably not in this arc, but who knows? There's some pretty
Who knows in the
maybe.
future? Woo.
Yeah.
Time. And we also have a really cool place where you can get
Merch.
Treb merch.
Treb merch. That's the name of it.
Treb merch.
Trebmerch.com.
www.trebmerch.com.
Do you only say 2 W's? Wait a second.
Yes.
Worldwide Trebmerch.
Worldwide
A bunch of
trebmerch.com.
fun stuff.
www.winslerwallaby.trust.
There's a t-shirt, there's stickers. Go check it out. Go support us. I think that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Thanks for listening
Yeah.
this week, everybody. I hope you're enjoying this arc so far. I hope that we get to fight another monster next week at the mess hall. Totally. Until then, we'll see you. Bye.
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 Thanks, Kurt.